Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Joni Ogg, and on behalf of travelprofessionalnews.com, homebasedtravelagent.com, and find a host travelagency.com, I would love to welcome all of you to today's webinar, and I really do appreciate your taking the time out of your day to join with us. And today's topic is Learn About French Polynesia's Destination Expert from Paul Gauguin Cruises onboard team. So I know some of you know that this is one of my favorite destinations, so I'm very excited about today's presentation. And with us, our speaker today is Vicky Lubyk, Director of Sales for Western Canada. With more than 30 years in the travel industry, Vicky has sailed on over 60 plus cruises, including most niche and luxury cruise brands. She started her career as a travel consultant and subsequently assumed various management, leadership, and business development roles. Vicky has been representing Paul Gauguin for over 15 years, and she is eager to share her passion for cruising and her wealth of cruise knowledge with all of us today. So just remember, folks, as you know, you will be muted during the presentation, but we do welcome your questions at any time. You can type those in the questions area that you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. And when the presentation is all over, we're going to take as many questions as we can, and we really do encourage your questions. We are going to be offering a prize today to one very lucky attendee of a $50 Amazon gift card, courtesy of us, the Ogg family here at Travel Professional News. So without further ado, I'm going to turn the mic over to Vicky so she can get started. Welcome, Vicky. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much. And Yorana to everyone, which means hello in French Polynesia. I really appreciate the opportunity to spend some time with you today. I know it's such a busy time of year for everyone. And so for that reason, I know we've set aside an hour for this webinar, but I thought I'd ask if I agree to get it, done in 45 minutes, would you agree to limit the amount of distractions? I know it's very difficult when you're on webinars like this to pay attention because you've got so many other things happening in the background. So I will commit to keeping it under 45 minutes if you commit to doing your best to just kind of limit the distractions. As you heard, we will have a $50 prize given away at the end of the webinar. I am going to mention the question for the prize winner early on in the presentation. I'm also going to talk about FAM rates. I like to point that out because I think that keeps people listening as well. I want to talk to you about the opportunities for yourself to travel to French Polynesia because I hope, as you can see, even by this first picture, it's an amazing destination. And I hope some of what I say today inspires you to want to travel to French Polynesia. Even more than that, I hope it inspires you to want to take a group on Paul Gauguin Cruises to French Polynesia. So with that, I'd like to go through about the destination, French Polynesia, the islands, as well as why you want to travel with us on board Paul Gauguin Cruises. I will talk about our itineraries and then some sales tools that we do have for travel advisors. But I want you to keep in mind that if you have a client in mind that could be a perfect fit for this as we go through, because we now have customizable content experiences available for travel advisors that make it super easy to personalize and share information about us with your clients as we've partnered with approach guides. So I know many of you are familiar with them. The whole process takes less than a minute. And near the end, I'm going to talk more about this, but have your phone ready to scan a QR code or take a screenshot because I have a ready-made slide available for you to promote our wave offer, which is Take Your Sweetie to Tahiti. So let's get started. Paul Gauguin Cruises operates the award-winning luxury cruise ship, the 330-guest MS Paul Gauguin. We sail to the unparalleled wonders of Tahiti, French Polynesia, Fiji, and the South Pacific. The ship's the highest rated and longest continually sailing luxury cruise ship in the South Pacific, having sailed for over 26 years. You might want to remember that. We've sailed there for over 26 years. And in fact, no other luxury cruise ship in history has ever offered this level of single destination focus and expertise on a year-round basis for such an extended period of time. Now, I can tell as I've only been talking to you for a couple minutes, and already I've mentioned French Polynesia as the destination, and I've talked about the islands of Tahiti. Well, just know that the official name of the islands is French Polynesia. It consists of 118 islands. It's located in the world just south of Hawaii, about the same distance as Hawaii is north of the equator. Tahiti is south of the equator, about the same distance. And the islands take up an area in the ocean about the size of Europe, but the landmass is only the size of Prince Edward Island or Rhode Island. In society, a group of society islands is where the island of Tahiti is. But often you hear us refer to it as the island of Tahiti. I think that's because people are familiar. They know the word Tahiti, they know the word Bora Bora, they know the word Moorea. And so for those reasons, often it's referred to as the islands of Tahiti as well. There are 3 areas that have direct nonstop flights: Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle. And typically we pair with Air Tahiti Nui, who is the international carrier of the islands. Did you know that in Tahiti in a year receives the same amount of tourists as Hawaii does in just 7 days? And that's truly what it's all about, is just this beautiful, unspoiled paradise. Now, how is it we've been successful in the destination for over 26 years? The secret to our success is the size of the vessel. It's large enough to offer a luxury experience. It's almost 20,000 tons, so it's really quite large, but it's small enough to fit in close to the private bays in the islands of French Polynesia, with never more than 330 guests on board. The ship was purposely built for the islands, and it has a shallow draft, and that's what gives us the ability to get in so close to the islands like this. You're never going to see large ships this close into the islands. And when I talk about sustainability, I'll tell you a little bit more about why you won't see large ships in the islands anymore. 70% of the staterooms on board do offer a private balcony. And it's thanks to our all-inclusive pricing that our guests spend more time enjoying some of the world's most idyllic, unspoiled beaches and less time worrying about every little detail, because everything's been taken care of, from our gourmet dining to our onboard gratuities, non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages, and it's all top shelf liquors on board. Even our Wi-Fi is included, and it's Starlink, so it's really good Wi-Fi service that we have. On board, we have a laid-back luxury experience with no formal nights on board. And the ship is very much a hub of South Pacific culture, education, and entertainment. This is one of the things, we really wanted to instill in you. It's different than a ship that just happens to go through Tahiti a few times a year. As much as your guests experience the islands when they're in the destination, we bring that authentic Polynesia into the on board the vessel as well. And how do we do it? Well, the heartbeat of the Gauguin lies in the talented Gauguins. We have the girls are called Gauguins and the boys are Gauguin, and they are our onboard ambassadors who are versatile and energetic. These multi-talented entertainers, they not only sing and dance and play instruments, but they also greet you when you arrive. They facilitate crafts with the guests. They are storytellers and dance and language instructors. The Tahitian people are some of the most lovely, amiable people you can ever imagine meeting. And under their friendly guidance, you can learn to make shell jewelry or weave flowers into haze. The leis are the neck flower ornaments, and the haze are the headdresses. They will teach you how to tie a pareo or master a few words of the Tahitian language, or even how to perform a hip swaying Tahitian dance. Dance is important in the islands. It's a critical aspect of the Polynesian culture. Not only is it extremely popular and important in everyday living, it's also a key to the preservation of Tahitian culture, passing down their history to future generations. When and how dance began, it's unclear. We only know that it began a long, long time ago. What is clear, however, is the impact on the islanders and people lucky enough to visit the islands. It's quite profound, actually. It has served as a variety of purposes, including prayer, storytelling, hospitality, posturing, and rivalry. There was actually a brief hiatus during the period that the islands were colonized. The Europeans felt that it was inappropriate, but luckily the vibrant Tahitian culture prevailed, and dance once again became an integral part of the culture. And for additional enrichment that we have on board, we have mostly on sailing 7 nights or longer. we're joined by special guests that offer enrichment lectures, a wide variety of topics, everything from Polynesian history, culture, wellness, photography, lots of wine and food experts on board. And it's very easy to see on our itineraries which sailings we'll have and who the guest host will be on any particular sailing. Well, I was lucky enough to be on board in December of this year. I had an 11-day sailing into, or 10 days into the Tuamotu, so it was absolutely fabulous. And when I was on board, we knew we were going to do this webinar, and so we decided to talk to a few of the folks on board. This is Gael, she's lovely. She's been with us for many years, and she is our cruise director. And I asked her, how is it that Paul Gauguin Cruises creates an artfully authentic experience on board? And I just want to share that interview with you.
I'm here on board the MS Paul Gauguin with our cruise director. Can you tell me please your name and where you're from?
Yorana, everyone. My name is Gaëlle and I am the cruise director. I'm from Paris, France.
And Gaëlle, how long have you been on board the MS Paul Gauguin?
So I have worked here already for 8 years, since 2016.
And did you work on other cruise ships before?
Yes, I work for a big cruise line.
Yeah, so you know what makes Paul Gauguin Cruises unique in terms of entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Here on board the MS Paul Gauguin, we are here to transmit the Polynesian culture. So when you visit the islands, you're not only going to visit the island outside, but also inside the ship.
And we have on board ambassadors, cultural ambassadors from French Polynesia. Can you tell us about them?
Yes, absolutely. So here we have the Gauguin and the Gauguin. So they are absolutely the stars of the MS Paul Gauguin. They are here to transmit first their culture. So they organize during the day activities, Polynesian activities. So you have art and craft, Polynesian art and craft, you have ukulele lesson, Tahitian language class, you have Tamure and Otea dance classes, which are Tahitian dance classes. They are here to also, as I said, promote their culture. So they organize seminars, for example, history of the Tahitian dance, Polynesian tattoos, they explain the meaning. So that's pretty much what they do. But they're also, they are entertainers. They also host Polynesian shows, and they also play music in the lounges, so they're absolutely everywhere.
Beautiful dances and performances every evening, different style of entertainment, which is absolutely a highlight for so many people when they're on board. So what is your favorite part about working on board the Gauguin?
Oh, I can absolutely say that there is no other ship in the world, and I don't say that because I work here. I absolutely can tell, I can testimony. There is only, I think this is the only ship in the world where you have the best crew. And I know that every cruise line say that, but here is really the truth, in the sense that I could say that maybe 70%, over 70% of the crew has been working here for over a decade. So we are really like a family, and it's not just a word to, you know, to appeal like we are the best, but the crew here treats you like you are part of their family. So this is what I love here, is like we are with the guest like like as if we have known them forever. So yeah, this is a family feeling that I prefer.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Actually, what was kind of interesting, after that, we had that interview. I was speaking with her, and the next day we just happened to have actually two of the crew members were married. They weren't working on board right now, but they'd met on board the ship and they were married. And pretty much all of the crew was invited to this wedding that they had in the island. So it truly is like a family atmosphere on board. I just want to make sure, Joni, let me know if for some reason if my slides aren't progressing, but I'll just jump ahead with our exceptional service. But really, as Gael mentioned, it is the crew that are exceptional. Probably the most memorable encounter you'll have on board is the entire crew. They are genuinely friendly and warm. They greet you by name each time they meet you. They remember things about you, like your favorite beverage or how you had your steak prepared or that you had strawberries on your cereal the day before. They love to anticipate guests' needs as well. And many of our crew have had contracts for more than 10 years. We actually have 5 crew members that have had contracts for the full 26 years. Happy crew make for happy guests. Dining is another area, and I do have an interview with the chef as well. Dining is truly something special. Every evening you embark on a 5-star culinary adventure designed by some of the world's most talented and award-winning chefs. We had Chef Ellis on board when I was on board, and I will show you briefly an interview with him, but I just want to talk about our dining experience. First of all, know when you arrive to a dining room, a maitre d' greets you and asks you if you'd like to dine with other people. So if you're single or if you're couples or you just like to socialize, it's a great way to meet people. But if it's the two of you and it's your honeymoon or your anniversary and you just want to dine together, the two of you, every evening, you absolutely can. So L'Etoile is our main dining room. It has international cuisine, beautiful small portions. You're absolutely encouraged to have a soup, a salad, an appetizer, an entree, a dessert, cheese cart, fully open bar, cognac if you'd like after dinner. No reservations are required, and it's open seating, so you dine where you want, with who you want, when you want. La Veranda is open for breakfast and lunch, and it is area that has an al fresco. This is one of my favorite areas, actually. There's a beautiful al fresco dining area with great views. Open for breakfast and lunch, as I said, but in the evening we dim the lights and we change the crystal, and it becomes this really upscale French dining experience. Now in the evenings there is a reservation required for La Veranda and La Grill, but there's no additional charge for it. It's just the venues are a little bit smaller. But if you want to dine, if there's availability, you can dine every night there if you'd like to. The Grill is Polynesian fusion dining. And a good tip for those of you here is when we overnight in a destination, we take the grill out by the pool. So we have dining under the stars, which is wonderful as well. Isn't it? It is a Pacific Polynesian fusion type cuisine, and it's open for breakfast and lunch as well. In addition, we have 24-hour room service. Anything that's being served in L'Etoile, you can have it served in your stateroom course by course if you'd like, and there's no additional charge for that. We have high tea every day. On our private motu, we have a lavish barbecue. So then there's an area as well, La Palette, where we have early risers breakfast, where we have every day there's a different type of smoothie and cappuccino and pastries. So there's lots and lots of choices and variety and areas to go with to try different dining experiences. So quickly here, I just want to share an experience or the video that I had with Chef Ellis, who was the chef on board when I was on in December.
Hi there, I'm on board the MS Paul Gauguin with the chef. May I ask your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Paul Ellis.
Lovely to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet
and
you.
where
as well.
are you from?
I'm originally from Central New York, and for the past several years I've resided around French Polynesia.
Ooh, lucky you. And how long have you been on board the Paul Gauguin?
I started working on the Paul Gauguin in 2011.
Wow, love it. So what would you say is unique about the culinary experience that we offer on board the Gauguin?
Well, I think it's really quite unique because we have 3 different restaurants that specialize in 3 different types of cuisines. We have a main dining room that has like an international feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
We have here in the veranda, which is more of a French-based feel to it. And then we have our casual restaurant up in the grill, which is a bit of an Asian Polynesian influence.
And it's lovely outdoors, which is kind of nice as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so what would you say would be your favorite dish to prepare for guests on board the ship?
Well, one of my favorite dishes, and not only is it a favorite dish, it's one of the signature dishes that we hear a lot of comments on repeat guests that come back, and we're always inquiring if we still have on the menu. And that would be here in the veranda, and that would be our fresh yellowfin tuna with a seared foie gras.
Sounds wonderful. What would you say is your favorite thing about working for MS Paul Gauguin? You must love it because you've been here for 12 years.
Yeah, well, a few things actually. One of them is the crew. We've been working together for a number of years, and so we've really developed a really unique dynamic in terms of how we work on board the ship and how we invite our guests and how we are with the guests throughout the cruises. And then also as a chef, the standpoint from the chef is the fact that my creativity is allowed to be used just about everywhere on the ship.
Oh, lovely. Well, I've certainly enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
He is lovely as well, and you can see again he commented on the just the friendliness between the crew. One of the things he does on board every sailing, or every chef does on board every sailing, is a moonfish carving demonstration. Um, every sailing we have fishermen go out and catch a moonfish for us, and it's really something special. They're absolutely beautiful and they taste wonderful as well. It's kind of like the ahi tuna that he mentioned. In an overcrowded, overdeveloped, and overcomplicated world, French Polynesia offers a welcome trip back to a simpler life. There's no structure that's taller than a palm tree. So this is a destination in itself. The cruise is a great way of traveling to the islands, but like I said, we want you to experience as much of the islands as you can, both on the shore and on board the ship. So we focus on many itineraries, and we focus on destinations that have longer port stays and many overnights. When we talk about the itineraries, I'll show you what we mean by that. There is a marina at the aft of the ship, so the paddleboarding and the kayaking are included. We even have a scuba dive program that is PADI certified. So if you'd like to go from a marina into a Zodiac or a speedboat and go out diving to some of the most amazing diving destinations in the world, this is a great opportunity for you. Scuba diving is considered a shore excursion, just so you know, so there is an additional charge for scuba diving. The only thing really you can pay on board the ship is scuba diving shore excursions. Pretty much everything else is included. That and spa treatments. You do pay additional for spa treatments. But if you just want to take a tender into the destination and snorkel, we include the snorkel gear, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we do have our own 2 private retreats as well, which I will often people will not do excursions on those days, but I'll show you a bit more about the 2 private retreats that we have as well. And what I was, something really important, I wish I had more photos to share with you, but this is because it's artist renditions. Right now we're going to Australia, and then we are coming back April 1st. We're returning with many sustainable technology upgrades on board the vessel, as well as soft good enhancements throughout the ship, and 8 new connecting staterooms. Lots being done in the pool area and in the grill area as well. Remember, that's where I said in the evenings, if we overnight, you can overnight dine out by under the stars. So lots and lots of things happening there, and we'll be sure to send you more on the updates. The ship was in great shape when I was there in December, but this will be absolutely fabulous when we do come back with these changes here as well. So here's our 2 private retreats. Motu is actually a little islet in French Polynesia. The highlight here, it truly is going to be one of the highlights when you or your clients come back. They think they love the idea of going to Bora Bora and Moorea, but it usually is Motu Bahana they are raving about. And it's just the most beautiful retreat. The water here is 28 degrees. I'm Canadian, so that's Celsius. In Fahrenheit, that's about 82 year round. It's crystal clear. It's bathwater warm. The one side you can walk out for about 15 minutes and you're up to your chest in bathwater warm water. The other side, there's drift snorkeling. We have a lavish barbecue here. Everyone's drinking out of coconuts. When you get tired of coconuts, there's a floating bar. The Gauguins are there, and there's lots of entertainment and activity. So really lively day on Motu Mahana. And in contrast, we have our private beach in Bora Bora, and here we have sand and trees and a cooler with drinks. It is truly a highlight. And if you see the photo that we have on the right-hand side here, that's Mount Otamanu. That's when you see pictures of Bora Bora, which is one of the most romantic destinations in the world. Often it's Mount Otamanu, and this is just the perfect place to see it. And you can see here also, we say that Tahiti has a painter's palette of blues, and you can absolutely see that by the picture on the right. Just know, as I say, Tahiti is more beautiful than any of these pictures, so you just kind of have to keep that in mind. But quickly, I want to talk about our itineraries, and then we'll talk about some sales techniques and who a typical guest is. Well, at the heart of all of our cruises for the last 26 years is our trademark itinerary, which is a 7-night itinerary, Tahiti and the Society Islands, where we overnight in Papeete, we overnight in Bora Bora and Moorea, and we spend a day at our private retreat. So this is The French Polynesia have travel posters, turquoise lagoon, azure skies, soaring mountain peaks with the overnights, as I mentioned. And I want to talk about price because I think, I talked about we're luxurious and we're all inclusive, and I worry that people are thinking we're expensive. Our pricing right now starts at $2,850 US, including port charges, and that's for a 7-day sailing. So of course that's an outside stateroom. We do have a few outside staterooms. Most of the ship is balcony. I do encourage you to sell your clients in a balcony. They'll want to, open the balcony, smell the fresh air, see how close we do get into the islands. And then of course we do have longer sailings than 7-night sailings as well. This is a new itinerary here where we have a 7-night sailing on this, and this is very port intensive. If you have only 7 days and you want to see as much as you can on this itinerary, we do not overnight in Moorea. Instead, we spend a day in Raiatea. And Raiatea has great cultural significance for all Polynesians. And there's also a UNESCO Mare archaeological site that's there. Starting this year in 2025 and in 2026, we have a port intensive itinerary with the Tuamotus, where we have 10 nighs, including an overnight in Whakarava. And we have a couple of real one-off itineraries where we have 11-night itineraries in 2025 right now into the Tuamotus as well. And in 2025 and 2026, we have the Cook Islands. The Cook Islands, they're self-governed, but they do have an association with New Zealand. And so they have a different feel with the Cook Island Maori and a different vibrant culture than the rest of French Polynesia. And these islands are quite different. Aitutaki is so flat you can see the ocean from pretty much anywhere in the island, and Rarotonga is extremely mountainous and lush with beautiful white sand beaches. And then we have the Marquesas. The Marquesas are the furthest away landmass from any other group of islands in the world. They're wild and remote and rainforest covered hills. They have a rugged coastline, so not necessarily beaches. They're so remote, in fact, that they have their own ecosystem. So there's plants and animals that exist nowhere else. And the very isolation of this mystical group of islands means it has a unique language and a 1,000-year-old culture that was untouched by European forces. Now, we do have these unique one-off itineraries where we've started right now, actually, where we are traveling to Singapore or Bali, Singapore, Australia. There is limited availability on these itineraries. And then, as I mentioned before, we are coming back in crossing Melanesia, Australia to Fiji in April, and that is after we've had that dry dock. So there's limited availability there, so I'm just going to jump by that. Just know we have airfare packages. We have one if you want to do fly in and out the day of the cruise with transfers and day rooms, but we can do a la carte air as well. You can just speak with reservations. We have pre and post opportunities for you as well. So if your clients have always wanted to stay in an overwater bungalow, we can absolutely do that for you. In terms of sustainability, for all of us at Paul Gauguin Cruises, what it means is preserving the environment, sustainable excursions, local sourcing, education and awareness, and supporting local communities and promoting cultural heritage in French Polynesia and throughout all the destinations that we visit. So we collaborate with local organizations and conservation groups and enhance our sustainable initiatives. Paul Gauguin Cruises is part of Penang Explorations. And the Penang ships are not only the most elegant ships in the world, they are also the most eco-friendly. In the last couple of years, we've implemented approach to visitation. The islands have, the government has. And what it's doing is ensuring the local population benefits from tourism and that they can sustain the number of travelers. So one way to do this to protect the environment is by limiting the size of cruise ships. So, for example, any ship with more than 1,200 guests cannot travel into Bora Bora. And locally based vessels that are there year-round with less than 700 guests, so the Paul Gauguin, take precedence. This limitation protects the environment and provides the highest quality of visitor experience. It ensures that for us, in fact. Throughout the islands, any ship with a capacity over 3,500 guests, I guess by the time you have 3,500, you're probably passengers. Anyways, they were only permitted to take technical stops in Papeete. The islands, it is the largest marine sanctuary in the world. Since 2012, there's more than 3 million square miles of protected marine sanctuary, and that is set to expand by 2030 as well. You may think the idea of environmental protection is a modern concept, but the islands of Tahiti have been doing this ancestral practice, which is called rahui, which provides temporary bans on harvesting of fish and certain species throughout the year, and it's been practiced for hundreds of years. And in fact, since 1996, no industrial fishing license has been given out in the islands. We also, as I mentioned, support the local community by having the Gauguins on board. We have folks that work for us in the concierge, the deck, and the marine areas as well. And we support local communities by purchasing local products, fruits, vegetables, even tropical jams and jellies, Tahitian beer, Hanano, it's the best. Of course, Tahitian vanilla and Tahitian honey that we have on board. We were thrilled to receive Condé Nast Reader's Choice Best Small Ship Cruise, of course, but I think probably more thrilled to we were in Sea Trade's Sustainable Initiative of the Year. And that was for a medical partnership we have, which provides healthcare assistance to some of the most regions in the Marquesas. So as you can imagine, in the Marquesas, there's very little infrastructure. If someone gets quite ill, they have to be flown to Papeete. So starting in 2024, as we regularly visit the islands, the ship takes medical staff and supports healthcare efforts by assisting local doctors and addressing emergency or acute cases. The ship even opens up its medical equipment when needed, and it has significantly reduced the need for medical evacuations from these areas because they're quite isolated. And in fact, last year we were able to help more than 90 passengers, or I guess they're not passengers, they are locals in the islands were aided through this program, so we're proud of that. Even our kids program called the Moana Explorer program collaborates with Marine Education Program, and it is for children 6 through 15, and it's a hands-on interactive learning experience. Every day of the voyage, there's a combination of naturalist-led experiences, arts and crafts, games, other adventures. And this is we allow children year-round, but our kids program, our Moana Explorer program, is in July and August and in December. So switching gears here, I want to just talk about who a typical guest is. So I hope you've been, as I said, I want to talk to you about our marketing efforts and our approach guides. So I hope you have in mind a client that you think would be perfect for French Polynesia and Paul Gauguin Cruises. But I just want to give you some of and I should mention in your handouts, there is this document that's in your handouts, as well as information on the various offers that we have. So please, while you're on the webinar here, do download these. Anyone that's celebrating any sort of milestone, birthday, anniversary, I know some people don't like the word bucket list, but truly it is a bucket list destination. You may have clients that have always stayed at the least expensive budget hotel, but this is their 50th birthday or their 15th anniversary, or some large milestone, and they are looking to splurge, and they've been saving for this. Of course, water sports, people that like water sports, obviously the marina is attractive to those type of people. They're celebrating an anniversary. We have a Polynesian blessing ceremony on board. Multi-generational, very popular. That's why when you see we are making the adjoining staterooms on board, and more popular for solo travelers. And I will talk to you about our zero single supplement for solo travelers. A little bit more about our clients. Frequent international travelers, so they are fairly well traveled. They have a fairly high household income. The one thing you will notice is nothing about this talks about age. We get guests that are 20 and we get guests that are 80. It's just about this, beautiful, laid back, luxurious destination. And that's the type of folks that travel into French Polynesia. Really quickly, I just want to end with some offers. We always have our brochure rate comes out, but we always have 30% off when we first come out with our pricing. And then as the sailings fill, the bonus drops, so the pricing increases. For For those of you that are Canadian, it's not published, but there is a 5% Canadian residence discount. I mentioned the solo travelers, 0 single supplement. There's probably 30 voyages that have 0 single supplement. So you can just find the link to that in our offers on our website, pgcruises.com, and more information on that as well. And past guests do receive discounts, shipboard credits, and that is reciprocal with Ponant as well. So the any status they have with Ponant works towards the Paul Gauguin status as well. So I'm going to pause here and just slow myself down because I talk quickly. But on this slide, I want to do 2 things. I want to tell you about our Take Your Sweetie to Tahiti promotion, which is, probably the funnest name ever for a promotion. But we've had it every year as far as I remember, and at this time of year. And this year it is a $500 shipboard credit and a bottle of champagne and chocolate upon embarkation. But what I want you to do is get out your camera and take a picture of that QR code, because that is the opportunity for you to create personalized digital content in minutes on this offer and send it directly to your clients. Now, the first time you do it, the first step, take the picture, you'll see it will ask you for your email address, your photo. You can possibly add your photo and your logo if you'd like. You could also, you can upload your logo if you'd like as well. But then it remembers all of this information. So you don't have to, every time you go to do a different offer, you don't have to include this information. Everything always on here is going to be 100% perfect. Once they click on that, it talks about the offer, it shows them videos, and everything refers them back to you. So there's never a link to our website, anything like that. Everything, all the information does go back to you. So within a couple of minutes, probably the first time, it might take you a couple minutes, but then within about a minute, you can do it every other time. So I'm going to encourage you, if you need more time on that, take a picture of the slide. We will have the slides available for you as well. And please, you can always talk to your director of sales, who will give you information on that as well. And do know also on the attachments, the documents we've attached, I have a consumer flyer for the Take Your Sweetie to Tahiti and a travel advisor one. The difference with the travel advisor flyer is it talks about the $250 gift card we are giving you for booking. So any new booking made between January 6th and February 14th on any of the applicable dates, you can redeem that $250 gift card. So with that, I hope I've inspired you in some way to want to travel to French Polynesia. We do have FAM rates, but I just want you to know they are 50% off. If you're a Pearls partner, they're 60% off. The only issue we have is that typically we're quite sold out. Like right now for 2025, we're about 75% occupancy. So we do only confirm travel advisor rates closer in. Most travel advisors that travel with us travel for free, and they do that by booking a group. So our groups are 1 in 9. There's no deposit required. 1 in 9 for a tour conductor is what I meant. No deposit required, and you sell into general inventory. So the sooner you do it, the better too, because remember that bonus discount, you can lock in at the 30% off bonus. And also we would offer a shipboard credit. If you're part of a consortia, you probably have additional shipboard credit. And your director of sales will work with you to help you promote it. But I encourage you, just look at the dates, find a voyage that inspires you, and we'll help you to promote it and get that out to your database. And once you've sold 9 staterooms, the 10th stateroom is complimentary, or 9 people, the 10th person is complimentary. And like I said, our directors of sales would love to help you with that. Now, our travel advisor center, it's been launched. Do know that you do need to have your unique agency ID, and your director of sales will be able to get that for you. It's the same for Paul Gauguin, it is for Ponant. The site is great for looking at availability and managing bookings, but just know it doesn't. You can't add your amenities for Canadians. You can't add the Canadian discount. You can't add groups. So if it's a Sunday and you want to you just want to make sure you're holding that stateroom, do that and then call in on Monday and have the pricing adjusted. But everything else beyond for checking availability, adding payment, that sort of thing is all available for you. And you just need to know that code, like I said, from your director of sales. Pearls is our travel agent program. It is actually, the great thing about this is we're moving, in about a month, we're moving this onto the same platform as Panel, which is good. Right now, it's a workbook that you read through. If you're a Pearls partner, you're always a Pearls partner, so you don't have to redo it. But we will probably come up with a module in the next year or so that we'll have to just get you to update your Pearls program. But once you complete the program, there's a quick quiz that you answer. You can earn $300 Amazon gift cards on your next 3 bookings. And Pearls partners, as I said, receive an additional discount on FAMs and information on everything in advance. Like our 2026, when we came out with our pricing for 2026, it was sent to the Pearls partner before it was sent to anyone else. Really quickly on this slide, mainly just want you to see triple occupancy fares. If the clients are 17 and under, it's free. If they are 18 and over, it's 30% of the adult fare. We have many staterooms that would have are capable for triple occupancy. And as I mentioned earlier, I had mentioned that Paul Gauguin Cruises joined force with Panal Explorations in 2019. Panal is a global leader in luxury small ship cruising, and they provide the perfect blend of adventure. That was a combination of blend and adventure. Blend of adventure, exploration, and discovery. And it's all experienced in luxurious comfort, even in the most remote destinations. So as the world's first and only French cruise ship operator, we specialize in intimately sized ships, which are luxurious and all fly under the French flag. Panal visits over 450 ports of calls across 400 itineraries on all 7 continents. And we offer a variety of unique experience to remote and unique destinations. Often, many of the destinations are hidden gems that you won't even recognize the names of. I actually, myself, even sometimes I'm looking at these itineraries and I'm trying to decipher what the port city would be. But that's really what it's all about, is taking our guests to these extremely remote areas that not many people know about. While the company proudly celebrates its French heritage, the ships and the itineraries are designed for a global audience. I'm not sure if you know, but 40 to 50% of the clientele are from North America on board the sailings. And while English-speaking guests are comfortable on all of the voyage, Smithsonian journeys are specifically tailored for English-speaking guests. 2026 actually will be the 5th year of a collaboration with Smithsonian Journeys, and we have 36 of them. At the heart of the French way of life is an emphasis on enjoying life's pleasures, good food, good wine, meaningful conversations, and time spent with family and friends. It's about savoring life's moments rather than rushing through them. Who wouldn't want a little bit more of that in their lives? So with that, I do want to say that at the beginning of this year, we've introduced a dual brand structure, so Panal Explorations and Paul Gauguin Cruises. And we've redefined the territories to enhance the support that we provide. And together, we are a strong team and we're dedicated to your success. And we're all here to help you sell every step of the way. But the intent moving forward is that your first point of contact will be the director of sales that's in the area where you reside. So just know, I'm going to leave it on this slide, just because we can, well, actually, I think I've got one more slide. I have one which says Maruru, which does mean thank you. And I do want to thank you. I appreciate that you've taken the time and spent some time with me today. But I will jump and leave us on this last slide with the sales team. And just know there's links all over the website too to connect you with your director of sales for the territory that you happen to be in. So look at where you actually live, not on where your IATA is, and that will be the person that's there, just sort of your primary person to contact. So I've been talking a lot. I certainly hope that we have some questions. Joni, can you come back and just let me know?
I'm here, and yes, we do. We certainly do. So are you ready? All
I'm
right.
ready.
Okay, cool. That was a great presentation, Vicky. Thank you so much. Really, really great. I know a lot of people seem very enthused here with these questions. Someone's asking if they're correct that the Tahiti ports are all tendered. This was early on in the presentation, so you may have actually answered this, but I thought I'd just make
Well,
sure.
that's good. No, and indeed that is true. Almost all of our ports, other than Papeete, we dock in Papeete. So on the regular itineraries that we do, and Raiatea. But just know that's one of the benefits of having a ship with a shallow draft is we're so close in. The tenders go back and forth frequently. So you don't need, there's none of this lining, waiting up, trying to get on to a tender to get in into the ship. The tenders keep going frequently. Like remember,
Okay,
some cruise
perfect.
lines put more people on their tenders than we put on a 300, a 20,000 guest ship, right? So yeah, there's
I
tenders.
know, it's very true, which is frightening, but nonetheless. All right, so let's see. Someone says they want to know, are flights included available?
Yeah, we can do it either way. So we have one program where we include the flights and the day rooms and the transfers, and that's you fly in and out the day of the cruise. Or you could do a la carte. So if you guests want to go in 3 days before and out 5 days later, we just quote it to you at our air department quotes it in a different way. But absolutely, that's available to you.
Okay. And do you have cruises with just the Cook Islands or only the combo, she's asking?
Yeah, only the combo. Everything we do starts in Papeete, and then that's the Cooks. We do an 11-day itinerary with 2 days at sea. So you
Okay.
experience the Society Islands and then the Cook Islands as well.
All right. And somebody's asking about the air arrival in Papeete. And I know that flight gets in typically, if I'm correct, at midnight. And they're asking, is that pretty much typically the only itinerary that is utilized?
The flight. Well, the flights actually you have to kind of look because there's 2 flights a day. Like often,
Okay.
I arrived at 5 in the morning. It is more regular actually that you leave in the evening out of Los Angeles or
And you arrive
um,
in the morning.
yeah, you arrive in the morning, and it's usually
Works.
a midnight departure, and that's why we highly recommend day rooms because you can't embark on the ship until 3 p.m. and on the last day you disembark at about 9 o'clock in the morning. So you do really want day rooms, and we can do that for you if you're taking our air program.
Ah, perfect. Okay, great. I answered a few questions here. Um, how long do you stay in each port?
How long do you stay? It really
In the
depends on
port,
the
yeah.
itinerary. But if you look on the website, it'll show you exactly. Often we arrive early in the day. Like for example, Bora Bora, we arrive early in the day. You spend the entire night there, and then we leave around supper time the next day. So
Okay,
it depends on the itinerary. But yeah, we're very port intensive.
perfect. Well, as you should be. It's so amazingly beautiful out there.
Right.
All right. So, do you accept the true code for booking? Someone's asking.
The true code. Right?
Yeah, it's not a IATA number. It's not an ARC number. It's an
Oh.
independent, kind of like a CLAN number, if you will, but it's accepted by some suppliers.
I'm sorry. I'm Canadian. Maybe that's my excuse. I've never even heard of
No,
that
you
before.
wouldn't have it there. Absolutely, Vicky, you wouldn't. So I'm going to suggest that
Oh,
that
okay, okay.
individual reach out
So
to your sales rep and
yeah,
ask that
yeah, I
question.
was going to say, because yeah, it's probably a question for anyone from the US that would
Yeah,
know. So yeah,
yeah. It's part
yeah.
of CCRA, but you're right. It's
I'm
not
sure
Canadian,
it,
so that's
yeah,
not relative. Yeah,
yeah. If you're a bona fide travel agency, trust me, we'll find a way to make a booking.
exactly. That's what I figured. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
good. Okay. Let's see. Are there easy access to waterfall excursions available?
Yeah, it depends on the itinerary that you do, actually, though. Yeah, I mean, you need to make sure, like, so for example, if you wanted to go to Aitutaki in the Cook Islands, there's no waterfalls, right? So, and remember
Right.
I said that was really flat. Papeete, there's beautiful waterfalls. Yeah, lots.
Okay.
Just make sure, like, and even if you do the Pearls course, that will help you to understand which destinations. If you phone reservations, they can help you. And if you talk to your director of sales, they can help you with which itineraries where you can see lots of
Okay.
waterfalls for sure.
In terms of mobility on the ship for somebody that might have limited mobility, is that something that you can address, or did you
Yeah,
mention that and I missed it?
I didn't actually, but we do have 2 wheelchair accessible staterooms. The ship has elevators that will take you to every deck except there's a sun deck at the very top, which to be honest, no one ever goes up there. And then the marina. The elevators don't go down to the marina.
Okay.
Just depends on a person's limitations to some extent. I think that many times when I go, I don't even get off the ship because it's so beautiful and you get so close into the islands. You can just, it's like you feel like you're just on the islands anyway. But keep in mind when we're tendering, you have to make sure that you have the ability to get onto the tenders. And that is absolutely a question for to the travel advisor to speak with reservations. specifically about the situation that they have, and reservations that they'll be able to advise you.
All right, perfect. Thank you for that. Yeah, that reminds me when I was there in Tahiti with my son, and he was younger, he was probably like, I think 12 or something, and he wanted to go surfing there. So we brought his surfboard all the way over from California. We brought that on the ship, and
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty amazing. But there's you can do just about anything, and the water there is pretty amazing. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Great
Yeah.
memories I have. Yeah, wonderful. Now he's running the business, so it's been a while,
Yeah. Oh, he probably
just
loves
a couple
to
of
tell these
years. I haven't
stories.
aged, but it's been a while. All right, so let's see. Somebody's asking a question: is it possible to scuba dive at each protocol?
Yeah, so we do, as I mentioned, there is a PADI certified dive program. There's usually 2 dive masters on every single sailing. The website, to be honest, is excellent. There's tons of information there about all of the various dives you can do. You can do 2 or 3 dives in some of the ports. The one thing to know is there's a medical form that needs to be filled out in advance. It's talked about all over the website, but yeah, tons and tons. We do a lot of dive groups as well. So if you have a dive company in your area and you want to look outside your database for someone that might be interested in hosting a group for you, that's a great place to look.
Oh, that's a great idea. Great idea. And there's been some questions about brochures and what area, who their rep is in their area. Since you've had that slide up there and you've been very clear about that, I'm not gonna to bring those to your attention because obviously everybody can see where they live and who's in their area.
If you go to the travel agent section of the website, you'll see all of this information is there as well too, and a link to where you can how you can order brochures. But yeah,
great.
Absolutely, you can order.
Okay,
it's very easy to
that was another question. So there you go. Okay, and I'm just going to clarify. I think I heard you say this, but somebody asked the question again on the tour conductor. It was 1 to 9 cabins or 1 to 9 cruisers, or 9 cruisers, and I thought you said cruisers as well.
It's both, actually. Yes.
Okay.
So often people want to go with a companion. So if you want to have a complimentary stateroom for you and a companion, you need to sell 9 staterooms to earn that 10th stateroom. But if you just want to earn extra commission, once you sell 9 guests, the 10th guest earns you, that it becomes a tour conductor.
Oh, okay, perfect. That clarifies it. Thank you.
So we
and
pay you
somebody asked
for that 10th guest.
Okay. And shore excursions, are they not included or are included in the price?
They're not included. So yeah, but keep in mind we have the private beach days. Hardly anyone would do an excursion on those days. And we, like I said, we always have the tenders that take you in and include the snorkel gear. So it's just if you want to go flight seeing, if you want to jet ski around the islands, do a catamaran. And if you look on our website, the prices are very reasonable, especially considering all of our groups or our shore excursions are all small groups. So maybe 15 people. So it's really perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's wonderful. Great information. And you've answered everybody's questions. So thank you for that. Oh, I think this was wonderful. Thank you so much, Vicky. We're going to go ahead and do our prize giveaway if that's all good. First, before I do that, I'm going to mention to everybody again, we're going to be giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. That's courtesy of Travel Professional News. And we'll be sending that gift card out to the lucky winner shortly after the webinar is over with. For all of you that are still on here, do know that you could download those documents that Vicky referenced during the webinar. All you need to do is go over to that handouts tab that you see there and you can download those, and it only will work while you're still on the webinar. I believe you can't access that, but you probably can get all of that information from their website as well. I'm certain that's available there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and do the question. First, I'm going to ask Vicky a question. Vicky, what is your lucky number between 1 and 20, please?
4.
Okay. All right. That was easy. Okay. All right. So I do have one more question quickly. I assigned some of these questions just so you know, Vicky, to you independently because they reference something, unique to their particular agency.
Okay, perfect.
One of them's asking about their email.
All those two.
Okay, asking about their email address. So I'm going to suggest, Gary, you reach out independently to your sales rep, and you should be able to get that information, moving forward. All right, so now we're going to go for this. So here we go, folks. You ready? Here goes the question. Remember, I'm going to pick pick the fourth. So you better act quickly here. Correct answer that you put in the questions area that you see on the right-hand panel of your screen. And here we go. How many years has Paul Gauguin been sailing in French Polynesia? Go. Oh boy, we have smart people here. That was fast. You guys are
I don't
fast.
know. I should have given I shouldn't have given 20 so people didn't, because now they're thinking if they haven't entered it, it's too late.
I know. But I said go fast. So, there's that, right?
I didn't know
Okay.
that's why you were asking my favorite number.
And you can always come to one of our other webinars that they put on and we can do another gift card, folks. So don't give up yet.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the winner today is Chip Stevens, who is a CTC. Congratulations on that, Chip. And you have won a $50 gift card, which will be coming from Joni Ogg within the next hour. And congratulations on that. I just want to thank Vicky so much. This was wonderful. I just want to get on the plane and go. I'm ready. Thank you for making me feel that way today. It's a little cold here in Arizona today, so that would be lovely. Thank you for doing this. I'll let you say your goodbyes, and thanks to all the agents for being here today. We so appreciate your attendance.
Absolutely. And I just want to say the answer to the question was 26. We've been in French Polynesia.
I forgot. See, I'm focused on Tahiti. I'm leaving. I'm packing my bag right now. That's my problem. I'm sorry, folks.
And the other thing I want to say is I did actually finish in 45 minutes. We just had so many questions. I actually think I finished in 43. So thanks for all those questions.
Awesome. Yeah, you have a lot of questions. That's really cool. I love it when there's a lot of questions.
I'll jump back to this.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much, Vicky.
Yeah, Maruru. Thank you. Everyone have a fabulous day. We look forward to working with you to grow your business.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.